Hi, I'm Tessa Lesage. I work at Collaboratory and I'm a Futuremaker. Thank you for taking the time to review this important information about the Southwest Florida Equitable Jobs Pipeline and the request for proposals. When you submit your response to the RFP, you'll be asked to upload a form verifying that you watched this video. We hope that this presentation will help you understand the purpose of the requirements in this process. In September, Florida Gulf Coast University, in partnership with Futuremakers Coalition at Collaboratory, was awarded $22.9 million in funding from the Department of Commerce to implement the Equitable Jobs Pipeline. Futuremakers is the sole subawardee and will distribute more than $5 million by January 2025 because of this award. The current sectors that we are focused on in the Equitable Jobs Pipeline are pre-K to 12 education, healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics. We've already completed a skills gap analysis, and that work is ongoing. The strategy and the purpose of this funding is to identify and remove systemic barriers our untapped workforce face when trying to earn the credentials needed to fill in-demand jobs. We know the way that we work is changing rapidly. The strategy builds on the work that we were already doing together and formalizing our relationships to accelerate our progress as we work together to increase the number of skilled workers in our region for a more resilient economy. The whole goal of this work is to bring partners together to make a more robust workforce development system and to create a more sustainable economy for our region and across the country, because we're part of something much bigger than just the work that's happening here. Our data is going to be part of a larger effort led by the University of Michigan to better understand how the Good Jobs Challenge worked in moving the needle in terms of job placement and creating regional partnerships across the country. The detailed individual level data is going to be matched with census data, so it requires extra care in data collection protocols and processes. Everyone receiving funds from the grant must have a signed consent form. We will provide a data instrument, a spreadsheet, for our educational partners to then upload to our CRM system. It is imperative that the data collection be secure. Please do not email any reports with participants' personal identifying information to us or to anyone else. The data will be reported at the individual level to us via our CRM, and any reports that we do will report aggregate data. All students going through EDA-funded programs will have a navigator assigned. Training providers are required to be the first line of data collection, and the navigators will be verifying that data as they work alongside the participants that are going through the training programs. They'll also be a resource for participants as they work to reconnect with education to get into a well-paying job. We know a lot of folks face barriers, sometimes that are outside of the control of our education partners. So these navigators are critical to the process, both for data and for the success of our reconnectors. Data will be collected by both educational partners and Futuremakers navigators. So educators must assist in making this connection. Applicants who are awarded are expected to report on project outcomes through the submission of quarterly reports. Quarterly report submissions include student enrollment, program completion, and job placement.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Lisa Freites. I work at the Collaboratory and I'm a Futuremaker. I'm going to go over with you now the portal where you will be submitting your proposal. The portal can be found on our website, futuremakerscoalition.com, and then you can go over to the RFP tab. The portal is currently open and will continue to accept applications until July 30th at 11:59 p.m. We are accepting two types of proposals. Training partners can either request funds to create a new program that meet the skills gap analysis that was done over the last couple of months. That data can be found in the RFP as well as on our website. Or they can ask for funds to update an existing program, to expand that program, add more seats, etc. If training providers currently have a program in place, but would like to request tuition assistance to help fill the seats of that program, that is a separate application. Both applications are found in the portal, and you identify which application you would like to submit at the beginning of the RFP process. There are 7 sections of the RFP. We have the project summary, applicant capacity, fiscal records requirements and documentation, engaging stakeholders and leveraging resources, recruiting students, project budget, and your plan for sustainability. Each proposal will be scored by 3 outside reviewers. Reviewers' experience ranges from business partners, post-secondary partners that have retired from the system as well. There are no members from Futuremakers Coalition or FGCU on the scoring committee. In section 1, you will fill out a template for your project summary. This is the section where you tell us everything about the program you would like to create and or request funds for tuition assistance for an existing program. Multiple programs can be added to the spreadsheet, allowing the training provider to submit for numerous programs at one time for each type of RFP. If you would like to request tuition assistance funds for multiple existing programs, you can add that to one application within that one template, and then submit an additional application if you would like to submit a proposal for creating a new program. Section 2 is on applicant capacity. In addition to administrative and fiscal capacity to successfully implement a Southwest Florida Equitable Jobs Pipeline program, education institutions should have experience in using data to develop and implement programs for the workforce pipeline. Successful applicants will sign a memorandum of understanding with the Equitable Jobs Pipeline, including a data sharing plan and IRB approval for serving students who are part of the Equitable Jobs Pipeline. During this section, you will be uploading documentation to show that your institution is accredited, letters of support from workforce partners, organizational chart of the staff members that will be responsible for telling students about the funding and helping to get them into the seats, as well as who's responsible for data collection and reporting back to the Futuremakers team. We're also looking for program completion, placement, and licensure, if applicable, for the last 3 years for existing programs if you're asking for tuition assistance, or a similar program at your school, training facility if you're looking for creating a new program. Section 3 is the fiscal records requirements for documentation. Institutions must be financially stable to receive funding. Institutions will be required to upload the last 3 years of financial documents that would include the nonprofits 990, for-profits would be a corporate tax return, or the most recent balance sheet, cash flow, and income statement. Section 4 is engaging stakeholders and leveraging resources. After the proposal is developed, if the project is funded, stakeholders should be continuously engaged throughout the life of the funded project. This ensures that the students completing the training can connect directly to the employers in the Southwest Florida region, and that the Equitable Jobs Pipeline continues to thrive even after the funding is over. We'd like you to describe the plan for the frequency and method of engagement during the project period. Describe the current relationship the institution has with employers within the 4 identified sectors, as well as government agencies and nonprofit organizations that you've worked with to help keep these programs sustainable after the funding is done. Include detail about any matching funds or donations from employers or other stakeholders to support the existing program or a new program that you're going to begin. This is a great place to show us how you've worked with employers, the reputation that you have with employers, and that employer commitment to hire the students coming out of your program. Recruiting students. We're looking for you to describe the recruitment strategy to ensure the program will be at capacity for each cohort during the grant period. Include the various strategies that will be used to recruit different populations of students, including but not limited to traditionally underserved populations. The project budget, this is going to be another template that you will download to your computer, fill it out, and then save it to your computer and upload it back into the portal. The budget for the Southwest Florida Equitable Jobs Pipeline Program should reflect expenditures that focus on costs for the startup of the program, for new programs, for creating new programs, or expanding existing programs. These include staffing that provides direct support to students, materials and curriculum for learning and enrichment activities, and professional development for the staff. For programs that are already currently existing, this is where you would put in the tuition assistance that you would be requesting for each student. It needs to be broken down by tuition assistance, textbooks, and which fees, certification fees, testing fees, etc. We would like to know the amount per student and the total needed for the program. So amount per student times the amount of students that you plan to have in your program for each cohort. If you are working with an employer or another agency where they will be matching funds, please add that in as well so we can see that relationship that you already have to continue and sustain this program past the grant period. If you do not have any existing matching funds at the moment, you can put NA in that section. As I've said a few times, we are looking for programs to fund programs that are going to be sustainable after this grant funding is over. So we would like you to submit a plan for how the program will be sustained after the Southwest Florida Equitable Jobs Pipeline funding ends. Applicants must identify partnerships with employers, community agencies, state funding, etc., that can help sustain the program after the initial Equitable Jobs Pipeline funding is over. We understand that during the process, there are going to be questions that arise. We do ask that you submit those questions directly to our website. Further down right past the RFP application portal, there are 2 links where you could submit your questions to us. If you are filling out the RFP or working on your RFP for creating a new program and or revise, expand an existing program, you can see the link there to submit your questions through that link. Or if you have questions about the proposal for existing programs, there's also that link as well. As questions come in, we will answer them together as a team and then post those answers on our website. The goal is to have the answers up within 3 to 4 business days on the websites to keep you guys updated on any questions that you may have. We look forward to receiving your proposals, and we thank you again for watching this video, and we hope you have a fantastic day.